right, we should be live. Should be live on Twitter. I believe we are live on Twitter. You may be listening to this later, not live on Rumble or YouTube or some other Facebook. If you are, please spread this along. Hit the subscribe button so you get notifications in the future. So, folks, we're here to talk today about Biden's new proposal. He's got a new proposal for the Supreme Court. Take a listen to what his proposal is, folks, from our folks over at CBS. Take it away, CBS.
Let's talk about President Joe Biden for a moment, because there are these reports that he might have proposals for reforming the Supreme Court. What do you know about that?
That's right. So CBS News has confirmed that he is working on a series of ideas to overhaul the Supreme Court, including the possibility of term limits for the justices. This would require congressional approval, but what he really wants is the conversation starter.
Okay, folks, it does not require congressional approval. It's blatantly, laughably unconstitutional. Folks, there are three ways a judge, justice, or frankly Article 3 judge, we'll get to that in a minute, can leave the court. Three ways, okay? You can die, you can resign, or you can be impeached. That's it. Here's the Constitution. You're looking dead at it right here. Great American Mail, we always go to the data, we go to the source. Article 3 of the Section 1 of the Constitution says, the judges, comma, both the Supreme and inferior courts, comma, shall hold their offices during good behavior. Folks, it's always meant, it meant at the time, it always has. Good behavior means lifetime. And I'm going to go into it in this day, trying to keep these things shorter, but if you go back and read the Federalist Papers, the federal government always wanted judges to be lifetime because they wanted them to be insulated from the will of the people so that they could make the right decision without having to worry about being elected. Now, folks, I've been a litigator for about 30 years. I've been studying the law for over 30 years. And I can just tell you, there are some jurisdictions, there are some states in the United States that don't do it this way. Judges are elected, and you can term limit them. You can make them run for office, all kinds of things. Not in the feds. Not the Supreme Court justice, and not the inferior courts. And that means the courts of appeals, the federal courts. Every one of these people that Biden has put on the court, they're there for life, unless you impeach them. So again, three ways you can take a justice or any judge off the court. One, you can impeach him. Think Samuel Chase. He was impeached in the House, but he was not convicted in the Senate. That's the only time a justice has ever been taken off. Some other judges have, but not justices. If you want to think of another way you can go, Antonin Scalia died. Ruth died, and she was off the court. So you can go that way, or you can resign. And the last person to resign, as you all know, one of the last was Anthony Kennedy, and I forget the name of the one who resigned, so Ketanji Brown Jackson could be nominated by President Biden. So, folks, why is this coming about? Well, the Democrats, they've turned fascist, and they no longer believe in the Constitution. You know a Democrat's lying when they refer to the Constitution. It's a dead giveaway. But they've just gotten radical, and the Supreme Court is the only branch of the government, and I mean everywhere. I mean, they basically control the House, folks, let's face it. But the only one they don't control fully, is the Supreme Court. That's what they're angry about. But here's Elie Mystal. He's part of the legal lie machine out there. He's a big racist, but his big grift is to lie about the courts. I know term limits and ethics sound less radical than a lot of people, than court expansion. By the way, court expansion, the Congress can do. That's in the Constitution. If they want, they pick how many numbers there are. For the longest time, we had 7 justices. They increased it to 9 because there were 9 circuits at the time. There are now 13 circuits. So they could do that if they want, but they cannot do term limits, not without amending the Constitution. But as I keep telling you all, the Supreme Court gets to decide if term limits and ethics are constitutional. Okay. Ethics aren't constitutional either. I'm going to have to leave that for another video, folks. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content, again, please subscribe. Hit the like button. If you have some ideas and you're on Twitter, hit the reply button and give me some ideas of things you want me to talk about. Otherwise, I hope to see you next time.